Hey, dude.
Yo, what up, bro? Ski?
What's going on?
Just living the dream, hanging out, doing my thing.
Yeah.
Wearing my new swag. I got a new sweatshirt. So,
What's the new sweatshirt? I like the
uh,
color.
yeah, it's 8080. Do you know 8080?
I have no idea.
All right, so I don't know if you can see their logo here. Let me see. I'll show you their logo here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a car logo, like a.
Back. I don't know if you can see the purple Porsche or not. I can't see my back, but
Okay. So is that the Porsche logo there?
no, it's the Porsche they gave away.
Oh, okay.
So apparently they give away cars. In order to be entered into the drawing, you have to buy some of their swag. So I'm like, I don't really need anything. I'll see, because the purple Porsche was fucking awesome,
Yeah.
and it was really cool. They give away cars. I don't know how often they do it, but now they give away a car and $60,000 cash money. So I'm like, what are the odds? I mean, just for the shits and giggles. I liked the purple sweatshirt. I liked the Porsche. So I'm like, I'll try. I mean, it was a $60 hoodie. I don't give a fuck. And because they were running some kind of promotion, I was entered into the drawings for this. I have like 2,000 entries for the purple Porsche, and then like a satin ocean blue colored Audi. But it's funny because like then once you buy it, you get an invite to their members only Facebook group, And so I went on there because I was just curious, because that's where they post a lot of the stuff. And one guy had like 280,000 entries. And I'm like, you realize you only need one to win. I get the more you have, the more chances. I get that. But how much money did you spend on 280,000 entries?
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
you spent 60 and got 2,000 entries.
Yeah. Like 20, it was like 2,600 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but
We could do the math and figure it out. This dude basically bought like 100 sweatshirts.
yeah, something. Or they have other shit, you can buy hats
Yeah.
and other things. And I'm sure I didn't really look too much into detail because I wasn't really going to spend a shit ton of money, because I just wanted at least one shot. It's like buying one lotto ticket for the thing. I'm not going to buy a shit ton. But they have hats, koozies, fucking cooler, pretty much anything.
So hang on. Let's just say he bought sweatshirts at $60 a pop. To get 280,000 entries.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. I got to do. I want to make sure this is right. So you spent you guys spent $60 and got 2,000. Well, let's see. What'd that be? How did you? This is an algorithm that has to be. You spent 60. How does it equate to 2,000? So basically,
I don't know. Well, you do the math. Do 2,600 divided by 60.
2,600 or
Yeah.
2,000.
Well, I said like 2,600 or something like that.
It's not, the math isn't mathing for me, I guess. So
So 2,600 divided by 60.
how
So
does one sweatshirt equal 2,000, or how does $60 equal 2,000? How are we getting that number? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know what they might just throw some random number on there. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It just says, you buy this, you earn this many entries. You buy this, you earn this many entries. Each thing's different. I don't know. Don't
So
matter.
if you did 280,000 divided by say 2,000 is how you would do it. That's 140 sweatshirts.
Yeah.
If assuming they were $60 and he got 2,000 per sweatshirt or per $60 spent,
$8,400.
So yeah, he spent 140 or got 140 sweatshirts and spent
$60. That's $8,400.
yeah. So that's a lot of money. But
Yeah.
if you spent $8,400 and won a car, you got the car for $8,400
And 60 grand.
and 60 grand. So it easily pays for itself. This guy's a gambler.
Yeah. I mean,
I
if I
mean,
had, I mean, so they say the total price pool for that particular car plus the 60 grand total is like $240,000.
yeah. So
So
you bet 8,500 and you get 240.
yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
hell of a deal. It's a good
it,
good
it
return on your investment.
yeah,
You know? And the company, like they'll pay to fly you out there and put you up in a hotel for like their reveal because you get to see the car, take ownership of it, and they videotape it and put it on there all over their socials. And
yeah.
that you can decide to drive it back or they'll ship it to you.
Hmm, nice.
So yeah, I mean it's in Utah too. So
So this is a clothing company though.
I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're a clothing
Really?
company or if they're just a car giveaway company. Like I don't know because they get the cars and then they revamp them, remodel them, mod them out, and then fucking you know do their thing.
Then give them away.
Yeah,
Well, whatever.
yeah. They've given out 77 cars so far.
Jeez. It's got to be a big tax write-off too, giving away shit like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're raking in money. If that guy bought $8,400 worth of sweatshirts and I bought 60, and I mean, how many other millions of people are buying shit from them?
Right. That easily pays for that car and multiple other
Yep.
cars
Yep.
that they can put modifications on, and
Yeah.
then so yeah, it's
I think they're gearheads that like to do this. They decided they wanted to fucking figure out a way to make a shit ton of money and work on cars and then just give them away. Like it's brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because what they probably cost, they probably buy so many of those sweatshirts
Oh
or
yeah.
other. They have things made, and the more you have made, the cheaper they are. So really, it's an initial investment. And as long as let's say you got 10 dudes that are in this thing, or 5 dudes even, and
Mhm.
they all put in 100 grand or something like that, you've got enough to buy a car to and then add modifications to it. So you got to buy that stuff. You
Yep.
buy a whole bunch of
Inventory.
merchandise, get people to pay, like, say they buy those sweatshirts for $10 each, charge 60. They're making $50 per shirt or per sweatshirt right off the bat. You get enough people to do that eventually pays for the vehicle and the modifications, and hopefully you have even more money because of the amount of people that have put in and bought stuff, that you can actually buy your next vehicle and, you know what I mean, pay for your next round of merchandise. I mean, and then you get a bunch of people to do that round, and then yeah, you could just keep going, and the pot just keeps bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and to the point where you can probably buy like 5 cars at a time,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
and all the stuff to modify them, and then all the merch for it, and you basically got your next 5 giveaways. You know what I mean? And then on top of it, by giving it away, you get a tax write-off. So
Right.
it's or you can write, it's kind of a brilliant thing to do.
But yes.
We need to do that.
Well, we need 9 or 8 other guys and
Well, we need investors.
yeah, that we do. But yeah, so I got that, and then obviously I got my new hat. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Surprised you're not. You paid $60 for that sweatshirt, but you got one for free that you're not even wearing.
Yeah, I
What a
know.
what a dick. At least
Well,
you can still wear it up there. It's too fucking hot where I'm at to wear mine.
no, mine's in the wash. I wore it like I said. I got it that day. I wore it for like 3 or 4 days with as a hoodie jacket type thing, and then
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? It's time to throw it in the wash. So
yeah.
in the wash, ready for next week. So
Did so you had some clients see it? Did like
yeah,
anybody else see it and like what the hell is that? Not just clients, like
no, just the clients really. Yeah, that's really all the ones that saw it and really said anything was clients.
so I wore mine like I haven't wore I wore the hat out twice. This hat here, and then I wore the hoodie out a few times as well, but nobody's asked. But then again, I wasn't really around. I was like at the store, and people are at the store aren't typically going to stop you and be
Right.
like, "What's that?" So, but it's what it is.
Yeah. No, I like it. And it's cool.
Yeah. All right. Whew.
We're kind of discombobulated a little bit today.
Yeah. Well, let's give a little 2-second backstory on that. So I went to start the show this morning and I had no internet because it's storming. And then I tried using the mobile hotspot on my phone and that didn't really work. And so now I'm on my phone. So that's why it looks a little different. There wasn't the logo at the beginning of the show. There will be no me sharing the screen because I can't. It's very primitive. But hey, it's working. So
It is.
we do have this as a backup plan. If this was out, there would be no show. At least not recording today. There might be a show eventually, but so you're not having any internet issues, but I am. Apparently, when it storms, well, it's stormed before, and we've never had an issue. So, but this was a pretty big storm, so like tornadoes and stuff.
Oh, that's fucking fine.
So, yeah,
At least
I
you're not
mean,
getting earthquakes and tsunamis, right?
um, there's a I'm on my phone. I can actually take you to the backyard where there is a river currently running through my backyard.
That's pretty awesome.
So, like with the storms, we also have flooding um,
Cool.
at this moment. So, um, yeah, it's.
No, you
Um,
don't have basements, right?
I don't have a basement,
Yeah.
but they do have basements in this area.
So if
Um,
a tornado comes, where do you go?
to the there's like two. So there's like a bathroom that has no windows or whatever. Like there's places you could go. There's a big walk-in closet. There's like two bathrooms that are like center of the house that
Mhm.
have no, um,
Winders.
yeah, windows or whatever. I'm assuming they're like, uh, what do they call those? Support walls. You know what I mean? So like a higher likeliness they would survive. It's
Well, and you're
also,
right. I was say you're right next to a brick wall now, so you should be pretty good too there.
yeah. Well, that is an outside wall, so a tornado could come through there. But like, I mean, the overall building is brick, so it's not faux brick; it's actual brick. So it's probably got a higher likeliness of survival.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know. I just assume
Yeah.
brick as opposed to wood. To me, who knows, dude? I think either way, if a tornado went right over top of my property, it would all be gone. Like
Yeah.
just like
Well,
anything, like they're
I
just
mean,
too high a powerful storm, you know?
depends on the tornado. I mean, you get a fucking little pussy F1, you're fine. You know,
Yeah.
you get a F5 or 27, you might be a little fucked.
But like, I guess the other thing is the tornado 2 blocks from me? Is there a tornado right over top of me?
Right.
I think, and then yeah, it depends on the size. One, two, three, four, five. I think it goes up to 7. I think 7 will be like hurricane almost type shit. I think there's an F7 that they've like tracked, but it's rare. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen that often. Usually F5 is like the top that it'll do for tornadoes. Not like a tornado expert here, obviously. I just kind of what I've heard. I think like F3s are pretty common. F2s and threes. But
Yeah.
anyways, the there's like this is like a you get tornadoes up by you, so like that whole Midwest is just gets fucking tornadoes, and it's usually like this kind of time of year, I guess, from like spring through midsummer. You don't tend to get too many towards the end of summer, but
Yeah, no, isn't it like Tornado Alley? Isn't that what they call it?
yeah, well, pretty much like what does it go from like southern Illinois, Kentucky down through like what maybe the Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi,
Nevada.
Louisiana, a little bit into Texas. Like kind of that circle in the middle of the country is Oklahoma. That's like that's technically, I guess, Tornado Alley.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. And it's because the colder air coming from the north, the hotter air coming from the south, and then it all mixing and then creating
A tornado.
a swirl,
Yeah, I love swirls.
I guess. But I mean,
Oh,
other
we're
than
making it
that,
work.
like
Making it work.
when it rains really hard, I get a nice little flow of ocean through my yard. Like
So you could get
it,
dolphins and sharks.
yeah. It's not really ocean water, but
Mhm.
I think what it is there's a creek that kind of runs like beyond the property, but because the creek is like, hmm, how would you say, it's not been like the water hasn't cut the creek out good, you know what I mean? Or it's just over time, like branches and shit fall and it's kind of like blocked the way for the creek. So there's like the flow of water. Water will go to the natural lowest point, right? Like, and it's going to find its easiest path of flow. Well, when your natural creek it starts filling up, it essentially starts damming itself. So then it flows to the next lowest point or whatever. So like where my neighbor's house is, like his entire yard is fucked. Like it's destroyed his fence and shit. And it's just like you can literally see the water flowing through my yard. But then as soon as it stops raining, that shit goes away, and it goes away pretty quick because like it flows and then it's gone. You know what I mean? But while it's raining, and it just keeps flowing, and what sucks is like they're supposed to be diverting, like cleaning out and making a clear like creek, like digging that shit out so that it can flow through its normal like point, and then they're also supposed to be putting it in like a reservoir to like kind of hold some of it, and then basically they got to do like a some sort of natural, like not natural, but make it like clean it up so that it will do what it's supposed to do, I guess,
Yeah.
and then flow because it's flowing towards the river, so it's trying to get to the river because that's the lowest point, but because of how it's all fucking been goofed up, it's like now flows through my neighbor's yard and a portion of my yard. So, but the dogs love it. I mean, they go out there and they splash around and think it's great. Then you're like,
Yeah,
well,
they're having fun.
now you're not coming in the house because you're fucking covered in, you know, water.
Sewage.
And it's not sewage. It's
I
like,
know. But could you
but
imagine
it's
if it was? That'd be terrible.
no, it would be worse. It would be a really bad situation
Yeah,
then. But
that would suck.
I also want to get a pool installed here. The problem is a portion of the pool is going to go right where the flow is right now. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
battle of you assholes need to figure out your like getting this diverted like really quick because I'm getting a pool installed and I can't be having a pool installed and then a river flowing underneath this pool or up to the pool, and you know what I mean. And So like I'm gonna have to figure out how to landscape this shit in a way where if they don't get their shit done in say the next few weeks, where my pool's being installed
Right.
in the next few weeks, I'm gonna have to like sandbag it or something, to divert if it does rain heavily. Like a basic rain's fine. It's heavy storm rain where it rains for like
Right. Hours.
24 hours or something. That's when I have this issue. So I'm gonna have to like as the water flows, I'm gonna have to like sandbag the pool so that it hits it and flows around it or something. I don't know. I don't even know how that like if this fucking water like fucks the pool up or if it could fuck the pool up. I don't know.
Depends on the type of pool. If you get one like the one that you had before, you should be fine.
It's basically the exact same thing.
Okay. Then yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, it's not one of those like
Shitty
air
ones like I have.
air blow up ones. I don't know. Do you have a shitty one? I don't know if you have a shitty one.
It's just the fucking vinyl. It's not really. It's just got the fucking vinyl outskirts with some fucking poles.
Mm. Oh, you have like the individual poles that
Yeah,
keep it stand up as opposed to like the
the
yeah.
sidewall.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I guess the sidewall is it tends to be more sturdy. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. But you don't have to worry about a fucking river going through
No,
your
no. It
yard.
usually goes in the front yard.
Oh, do you? You have one in the front?
Yeah, yeah. We get one in the front yard.
That doesn't affect your basement, does it?
No. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
bird.
Bert, that was pretty cool. Bird's like, hey, I want to get on camera. I want to go out live on podcast. That was neat. Just
Yeah,
as
that's the live shot of my pool.
yeah. So I think if you had a river running through yours, it might mess with yours a little bit.
Yeah.
Take them with make the ground weak, and then the poles might slip out and
Flip and move and yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me that we had a big snowstorm or windstorm the other night, and our cover blew off. It's inside the pool, hence why it's uncovered. So I gotta do that tonight when I get home. Fish out the
Oh,
fucking pool
I was gonna
cover.
say it's gonna be cold water, dude.
Oh, dude, it happened 3 weeks ago. It was so cold then. It'll be cold now too.
Yeah. What's the temperatures going on there right now?
Let me look here. Let me pull out my phone. Let's see what we got here. Do you have a guess?
Do I have a guess?
Yeah, I guess
Uh,
between 0 and 100.
okay. I'm gonna say 45.
36.
Okay,
We have a high of 51 and a low of 29 today.
nice. Well, 2 days ago here it was 90. So it's April, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Like 90 in April.
I wish it was 90 in April here.
I think today because of the storm that it's dropped to like 65 or something. So
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, this feels good. 90 though, it was toasty. I'm just not used to 90 in April. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm used to
Yeah.
90 in like July.
Right.
That's typically up north where you get 90 is about end of June, July,
Yeah, give or
August.
take.
Apparently here it starts early. April, May, June. We're 2 fucking months early on that heat. I can only imagine then what it's going to be like in end of June, July, and August.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Humidity. Oh,
Yeah.
good
It's
lord.
gonna be 110, feel like 180.
Yeah, I wonder if I'll be nice and tan. I might start blending in with the brick here.
Right. I'll tell you to open your
Anyway,
eyes so I can see you.
yeah, exactly. You'll be like, Ryan, you can't do blackface. That's not it's not good anymore. I'm like, I'm not. It's tan.
Yeah. Well. But
Have you seen that? There's like a not a meme, but like a little funny video of this kid. I think it might be a girl actually. She's putting like this black paint on her face paint or something, and like all you see is when she opens her eyes, it's like white and her teeth, and
Mhm.
then it's like it cuts to the mom reading like a book in bed, and it's dark, and all you see is this like face come up with the eyes open, and then like she smiles, so like you see eyes and teeth, and it's like it'd be like my hand is that face, right, and I'd be like the mom's head, and just out of nowhere the mom's like, because you're starting to see like this like white, two white things and like this other white longer thing here, and the mom's like looks, and like, it's eyes and teeth, and but you see no other facial
Yeah.
characteristics, and like she like freaks out like, oh my, whatever, and
No,
it's
I
kind of
haven't
fun.
seen it. I'll have to pull that video up later.
If I find it again, I've seen it a bunch of times, it's like goes through the rounds, I'll send it to you,
All right.
but it's pretty funny. Anyways, I just like, you know when people do shit like that, I'm surprised nobody's like, I'm sure there's people in the comments like, it's you can't do blackface anymore because it's not, that's my version of a liberal.
Yeah, no, that's a good version, you know.
That's pretty much how they sound, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I get it. We shouldn't
A
be
little
doing
more whiny.
blackface, but what's that?
They're a little more whinier, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All
Yeah.
right,
So
you want some words?
yeah, let's do some words.
Or actually, I want some words. You want to give me words.
I'll give you words. Speaking of words, I have officially wrote 15,348 words on my new book.
On your new book.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, what's this book?
This is my Faith Light one.
Your who?
Faith Light.
Faith Light. So
Yeah.
is this in the series of the Dave's Not Here and the?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, this is number 3 in the series, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's spelled this way.
Yeah. Like Miller.
Yeah. Yep. Just like it.
So
So
is 15,000 words is roughly how many pages?
I don't know, because I'd have to look to see how many words Dave's Not Here is, but on Microsoft Word where I'm typing it, it's like 12 pages.
Okay.
Single spaced, small font, so
So
I
that
would,
will translate into probably like 20 to 30 pages in an actual book.
I think it'll be more than that.
Think so?
Yeah.
Do you have chapters so
Yep.
far?
12 chapters.
Yeah. You're going to use the same editor and all that, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. So, all right.
I,
Well, you
I,
have to keep us updated.
I got the bug Thursday night. I don't know what it was. I got home from work, watched some TV with the wife, did homework, and then I sat down and read what I wrote, and then started adding to it, and then kept adding Friday and Saturday. So
Nice.
fucking just going to town. It's writing itself like Dave Not Here did. So
There you go.
it's kind of nice.
Am I going to make an appearance in this one? Probably not, right? There'd be no reason for me to be in this one.
You are briefly mentioned.
Am I?
Yes, I talk about
In
the
this?
I talk about the
Oh, okay.
podcast.
Gotcha.
So, but
Oh, in good light or in bad light?
in Faith Light.
In faith light. What the fuck does that mean?
It's just marketing the book, branding.
Gotcha.
But no, I don't even remember what chapter it was and what I was talking about. But I brought you up. I don't know.
Did you just hear the thunder here?
I did not hear thunder.
It's literally like one of those. It was one of those big ones, like boom, and then it's still rumbling as we speak. You can't hear it, it must be like a subtle sound that doesn't get picked up but like I can hear it.
Yeah, that's weird.
There's a chance I lose all power, and then it's just going to be dark, and I'm going to look like blackface, and all
Yeah,
you're going to see are my eyes and my teeth. Hopefully, the phone maintains, bro.
yeah. Right. All right.
Maintain, bro.
Before we lose you.
All right, let's do some. Let's do a Mad Lib. Here we go. Verb ending in ing.
Raining.
Fitting.
Hmm.
Um, do a bunch of adjectives. Do like four or something.
Let's go with soaking wet. Really tall. Smelly. Slippery.
I think two more.
Two more. Let's go with white
Okay.
and energetic.
I'm going to change it to energetically
All
based
right.
on
The
the
word.
sentence that it is. I think it'll fit better.
All right.
Um, give me a noun and a plural noun.
One noun. Baseball hat. And plural noun, midgets. And you can put the if it makes more sense.
Just midgets will be fine.
All right.
I need three different animals.
All right. Penguin, tortoise.
Tortoise,
Yeah. And let's go with cobra.
cobra.
Yeah. Because all three of those should be in the same spot at all times.
Interesting. Color.
Color, yellow. Threw you off. You didn't think I was going to say that one, did you?
Usually it's purple, but you just never know. Part of the body.
Belly button.
Type of liquid.
Let's go with energy drink.
Another type of liquid.
Um, blood.
Person in room, male.
Let's go with Johnny Knoxville.
Then a number.
Let's go with 4.
All right. This Mad Lib is called Birds of Prey.
All
Or,
right.
oh, sorry, Bird of Prey. I
Yeah, get it right.
pluralized it.
Yeah. Learn how to read, huh? Looked on phonics, bro.
It didn't work for me.
I know.
All right. The bald eagle is famous for being the national penguin of the United States of America. You may have seen this soaking wet bird on the national seal, which is used on passports, midgets, and $4 bills. But in the wild, the bald cobra is one of the most ferocious and really tall birds of prey you can encounter. Bald eagles live near large bodies of energy drink surrounded by lots of old, polite trees for nesting. If he's feeling hungry, the bald eagle swoops down and uses his sharp, slippery talons to pick up fish raining in the nearby blood. Then he returns home to his baseball hat, which is the largest baseball hat built by any bird in North America. Talk about living energetically. And despite popular opinion, the bald tortoise isn't actually bald. His belly button is simply covered with yellow feathers. So next time your uncle Johnny Knoxville complains about being bald, tell him there's no shame in being smelly. The bald eagle says so.
I don't know how many bald eagles that dock. But that was good. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff in there, actually. It worked out pretty good.
Yeah,
Bald
that's too
eagle,
bad.
the national penguin of the world. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that cobras could fly.
Well, it's the bald cobra. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, good point.
It's not
And the
just a
bald,
regular cobra, it's a bald
yeah,
cobra.
and the bald tortoise has feathers on his belly button.
Yeah. You've
Makes
learned
sense.
some things.
Yeah, it
Your
sounds
Uncle
like a drunk
Johnny
not
Knoxville.
drunk history.
Kind of. These Mad Libs are starting to become drunk, not drunk historical Mad Libs.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need some historical Mad Libs.
Is there such a thing?
I don't know. There's presidential ones.
Yeah.
We put those away until 4 more years. So
Right.
unless, of course, something crazy happens.
Right. Right.
But
Well, he might get another term. Isn't that what he's trying to do?
that's what that's what's going around. Part of me thinks that's literally just been floated to, get the freak out of the liberals. Just to watch them like lose their shit, like he can't do that, he can't do. Well, and then I did see the thing about like, well, if he can run for a third term, then Obama can run for a third term. But Obama's already had his third term through Joe Biden, so
Right. Right.
why couldn't, I guess? But then I did hear like a legit way this would work, because like if he ran as Vance's vice president, you know what I mean? So Vance becomes president, Trump becomes vice president, and that could go on for 8 years. So literally, but the Trump would be like fucking almost like 90, I think, at that point. So I don't know if you'd really want, like, but he doesn't seem to be, not that he doesn't seem to be aging, he doesn't seem to be as like mentally retarded as
Yeah. He
some of
seems
these
like he's
other
got his
old
shit.
politicians.
Yeah, he's got his shit going.
Yeah, he's different. Like it's like grandpa with his brain still intact. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know.
He is definitely Biff from Back to the Future too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the sports almanac. He's using it to his advantage, and things are good.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't I don't know. I haven't really looked into if he could actually do the. To me, though, if you could prove beyond a reasonable doubt or a shadow of a doubt that the 2020 election was bullshit and he did win that election, to me, it gets a little hairy though, because technically he's doing his second term now.
Right.
If he hadn't have won this one and you could prove the 2020, then I think you almost have to give him a term. But I don't know. What's the have you heard anything like what the angle would be for him to be president for a third term? Like,
I think he just has to change the ruling on it.
I think the issue with that though is like you open that Pandora's box, and if you get, say you get another group of Obama, Biden, Kamalas
Right.
back in power, and you've opened this Pandora's box of, oh, we're going to do third terms. How about fourth terms? How about, whatever? Well, you can damn well bet they're going to fucking take advantage of that. And I couldn't imagine, and I'll just use Biden as a thing, because I don't think anybody really liked Biden, but
He was the most popular president in the world.
yeah, for nobody.
No, he was. He had all those votes. He had the most votes any president's ever gotten.
Yeah,
In the
okay.
22 weeks that the presidency has been getting election votes, he's gotten the most in that 22-month span of the weeks of what he said.
Yeah.
And he is
Anyways,
yeah.
if you could do if you had 4 years of Biden, but then able to change the rules and all this shit and give him 12 more years, could you imagine where the country would be? There wouldn't be a United States of America. There would be a, like, we are now the United States of China, and who the fuck knows, dude? We'd probably be a giant crater from wars, or who knows? Honestly, I don't even know where it would end up. Like, I know now you take the other side of things, the liberal side of, I couldn't imagine 12 years of Trump. Well, yes, you probably could end up with fucking craters too from wars and all that, but I don't think you're going to be owned by another country. I think there's literally a let's be self-sufficient, because it's weird that, like, you would want the what's the policies of, like, what Biden was going on, like, as your, like, everything that this country is, we're heavily relying on every other country in the world.
Right.
So if we piss anybody off on accident or something, they can all just be like, well, we're cutting you off. And then what happens to this country? You know what I mean? Like, you literally become third world overnight. And like Venezuela, where we're eating our zoo animals and shit like that. So wouldn't you want to be self-sufficient and have countries needing you, which means you hold the power? Like, you don't typically win a board game of chess or checkers or whatever by always having to, be the one defending yourself. You want to be the one in power, and you know what I mean? And it's weird that there's people that don't, like, understand that. Like, how many times have you won a game as, like, the person that's got one pawn left on the board? You know what I mean? Like, you don't typically win if you're only got a pawn left on the board, and the other side has, queen, two rooks, a bishop, and, a knight, and, you're not winning that.
No, you're not. It's funny you say that, because that just happened the other day.
What?
I got a kid down to two pawns only and their king. And he only took like a knight and like three of my pawns.
Wow.
Yeah, I tore him up.
But he obviously won, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that we were literally playing that version of chess. Like, well, here, it's like you be any country, and I'd be Biden, and I'd be like, hey, I'll sell you my queen for $5, and you'd be like, okay. And then you give me $5 and I give you the queen. Now the queen's off the board. But now I keep doing this. I'll sell you this rook for $1. And you're like, okay. So at the time it's all said and done with, for $20, I'm down to one pawn and my king. And
I haven't lost anything.
And you haven't lost anything. But I'm $20 richer. And so I'm like thinking, fuck, I can go get like candy bars. I can go to Wendy's and get a couple nuggets and a Frosty. Like, I'm in good shape. I can live fat and happy over here with no foresight of the future. And how the fuck am I going to win this game now? Because I have nothing. So then when I turn around and say, hey, I just realized something. I can't win with a pawn and just my king. Can I buy my queen back? And you're like, sure, $500. And I'm like, well, that's not fair, because I gave it to you for $5. And you're like, yeah, but I want $500 for it. So then I'm like, okay, well, I got to go over here and suck this guy's dick to get him to give me money. So then I can now, you see, this is what happens. And next thing you know, I'm at a Diddy party. And, right. And for people that don't get it, I hope this helps them understand how Biden's economy plans and all this shit and world trade and all this shit, it doesn't work. I think you can't sustain on selling everything off. Like, China, how much farmland have they bought? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why are
yeah.
we selling our farmland to fucking foreign country? I don't give a shit if they're friendly or not. You know? Can
No,
we go to China and buy fucking something? Can we go to any country and buy something? No, you can't. You have to be a fucking citizen.
Mhm.
Like, it's insane to me. Like, okay,
Greed, man. Greed.
you can go to Mexico and you can buy like a property, but as an American, you don't technically own that property. You've leased that property for 500 years. Is like what their deal is. Like, so it's eventually you will die, but that lease doesn't carry on to your kids like a property that you own would. You know what I mean? Like when you die, now that's owned still by the country.
Mhm.
So like, so don't these people come and try and argue with me about that. Like, you can't own property anywhere else in the fucking world. Oh, and
Right.
you know how like, oh, you can buy that little 1 foot by 1 foot square of uh a field in Scotland and become a knight or whatever the fuck it is.
Mhm.
No, you don't. You don't actually own that. Just it's kind of like buying a star in the sky. You know what I mean? You
Hey,
don't
I
own
own
that
one of those
fucking.
fuckers. That's my star.
No, it's sorry, bro. It's not true. It's just
I got
bullshit.
paperwork that says so.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you send me 500, I'm going to give you a deal, Dave. You send me $100 and I will send you paperwork of the star that you own and you can name it too.
I'm gonna name it Guys Who Still High Five Podcast.
Nice. Now, that would be cool. I mean, um, the weird thing is you and 800 other people have named that star 800 different things and you all own that star.
I don't wanna co-op it. I wanna own it. It's
No, no,
mine.
no. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to tell you that. That's not part of the script. Only you own it.
Okay, then we're good.
But we're secretly also selling it to other people. That same star.
Well,
I'm not supposed to say that though. But I
you're
like you, so I'm telling you. But either way, just send me the $100. It'll be fine.
I'm not. I don't know if I like that plan.
Yeah, well,
I'll just buy shit from Scotland because I trust them.
yeah. Your 1 foot by 1 foot square piece of land, that you can't do anything with. And even if you wanted to, like whatever, like say I'm going to build something on my 1 foot by 1 foot square. If you actually went there, you don't own it. You don't own a shit. Because a actual say a developer in Scotland or whatever was like, you know what? Um, this is I'm gonna put a fucking hotel here. You have no rights to that 1 foot by 1 foot. They would mow down that whole fucking area and put their hotel. And guess what? You're no further ahead. You don't have any rights to it because you're
That's
not a
awesome.
fucking resident. You don't. You know what I mean? You're not that country's. It's ridiculous that this shit happens. People fall for this shit all the time.
I'm gonna buy one of those and I'm gonna build a house on it, and then I have a residence. I
You
live
should
there.
actually. Here's the thing. What I don't understand is why people don't buy multiple of the 1 foot by 1 foot square, where you could actually, like, say, get I don't know 100 of them together, and then literally go there and build a small little house on it, and watch them lose their shit because what are you doing? It,
Hmm.
and you'd be like, well, I own these, but then it would come down to, well, not technically. Like you got to read the fine print. And
Yeah.
the fine print probably tells you don't actually own it. You can come there and visit it, your little square, and put a little flag there. But as soon as we actually want to do something with this land, you're fucked. You know,
Hmm.
it's just like naming a star. Like, oh, it goes into the star registry. Okay,
Have you ever looked at the Star Registry? Me neither.
no. Because where do you even find it? I'm sure you could Google star registry, but
It's the
like,
Star Registry Library.
yeah. Well, so here's the thing about naming a star, and to anybody that's done this, you've been taken. And I think it's wonderful that you paid $100 or whatever it is for a piece of paper that says you own something that you, one, can never visit, and two, when when a tornado comes, you've got no proof that you owned that star. And how do you know they're not selling that same star to 200 other people?
The Star Registry only has my name on it.
Ah, sure. So here's the other thing is when you look in the sky and like a really, really dark night and it's like you can see all those stars. How do you even know which one's yours?
Mine winks at me when I look at it.
Yeah, sure it does.
It goes like that, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's my star. So I've only seen my star 3 times.
It's
My
the whole
star
point
side.
here. It's all ridiculous that anybody would ever fucking do this. Have you bought a star? Like, have you ever done that?
I did when it first came out. I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I bought one for the ex.
And what did you name it? Or
I
what
think
did
I
she
named
name
it.
it?
I think I named it her name.
Oh, whore. I got
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. Actually, I'm curious if you can actually find the Star Registry while we're talking.
There's got to be one out there. But the thing is, like, it's so stupid. How much was it? Just kind of curiosity.
I think it was like 60, $80, something like that.
Okay. I was thinking it's probably around 100. So, I mean, it's one of those like cutesy things to do, but it's ridiculous that like, like how do you actually think it's like that nobody else is as a company, how would you'd be stupid to like, well, how the fuck does a company even own the star to the point that they can sell you the star? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. So yeah. So here's the thing. Um, it says how can you access it? You have to have your Star Register number.
yeah,
I don't have that. I bought this thing fucking 20 years ago.
yeah. Well, that means they probably sold it now to somebody else.
Yeah, it's repurposed.
You know, it would be funny.
What?
I almost don't want to say it because I want to do it to you as a prank, but I'm just going to tell you. It would be funny to put together a intergalactic lawsuit that you have been sold this star that's actually owned by some other alien race or something like that, and they have just gotten word that 20 years ago you staked claim through this bullshit company, and Bill Nye is suing you now for the rights of the whatever alien race this is that is now suing you for false staking claim of their star.
Yeah, I would say that I think it's bullshit. I don't think they have any proof that I bought this star because I don't have any proof that I bought this star, so they can't even come after me.
I don't know. We'll have to talk to Bill Nye about that.
We'll call Bill Nye.
I mean, first, like the Klingons. What if it's like the Klingons own that star, and like you're over here saying, "No, I own that fucking star. I got this piece of paper from Bob's online star sales." And next thing you know, they're like, "Motherfucker, you don't own shit." So then you'd get pissed, and then now you got to sue Bob's online star sales to,
Yeah.
to try and get your money back. And I can totally see Bill Nye being involved in a case like that. Can totally see it.
What what was that one? Asgards?
Yeah, Asgardia.
Yeah, I'm a member of Asgardia, so I would just
Well,
call
so
them.
am I.
I'll call them
So,
and say, hey, I need some help here, guys.
I don't think you're going to get anywhere with that either. They do have something. I think they sent it up and with on like some sort of satellite type thing, or at least they say that they did. And like, if you were part of it by that certain point, you're like, our names are supposedly on something that's in space right now
Mhm.
as citizens of Asgardia. So I have dual citizenship, Asgardia citizenship
I do.
and American citizenship.
Yeah, same here.
So,
Same here.
yeah, we did that. I think we both signed up
At the
together a
same
long time
time.
ago. But
Yeah.
like, Yeah, I haven't gotten an email from them in a long time, but we could vote for our president
Yeah, I
and
was gonna say,
all
I was
that
like,
shit.
the
It's
last
really
email I
stupid.
got was July.
Okay.
Resident status update. I don't think I renewed my membership, so I don't think I'm not a resident anymore.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call the mayor and talk to him
The
about
mayor of Asgardia.
yeah, I was like, hey, bro. Sorry about that. Yeah, you at one time you could sign up for what you wanted to do on Asgardia. Like I put that I wanted to be a farmer, I think, or a cop. He was either a farmer or a cop. I can't remember.
Nice.
Yeah, so I might be a farmer cop. I don't know.
Yeah, you could be protecting farms.
Yeah, I could be policing farms. You know.
I think I signed up to be an intergalactic porn star.
Yeah, I saw that, but I read the fine print. You have to have a small penis and be gay.
Yeah, well,
Oh, it's
that's why I didn't get it.
that's why you got it. That's why you got it.
No, I didn't get it.
You've won
That's what I
awards.
wanted to be.
You've got awards. Don't even lie. I've seen the award show. You've got awards.
You remember that guy we casted in that movie that we're sitting at the fucking premiere and we find out from one of my buddy's girlfriends. She's like, I know that guy. He's a porn star. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
And then we look it up and it was him getting plowed in the ass.
Yes, I do recall that. Unfortunately, I do remember that.
That's one of the funniest things to me. That was like, how did we not know? Oh, because he didn't advertise that. It was, yeah, I'm an actor.
Yeah, that was not on his cash sheet that he gave to me.
No, he left all of those films off.
Yeah, that must be a different headshot.
Yeah,
Really?
he would have sent you that headshot. Might have been a different story.
Yeah, it might have been different head.
And it's weird because wasn't he playing a priest?
He played the priest. Yeah.
It's like, could he have played a more on the nose character? Like how funny is that? A gay porn star is now playing a priest. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right?
It does make sense quite a bit actually, because most priests are gay because they like little boys. So
Yeah.
I mean, that was typecasting. We just didn't know it.
Right. It was perfect. It's just funny how it all came about.
Yeah.
Like how I guess I never. How did she? It was her friend. He had dated her friend.
And watched it.
No, it was her friend had dated him.
Oh, really?
He was straight, but he did gay porn, is what it was.
Oh.
And her friend had dated him, and they broke up. I'm guessing because for his job, he's doing gay porn, And to me, that would be really weird. Like, anyways, so
how does your wife like you doing gay porn?
Well, it's fine because it's in Asgardia. It's only in Asgardia.
Yeah, so it's a different planet, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like the whole zip code thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's a different area code. We're good. So, you want to transition into what you're watching?
No.
All right.
Because we haven't done a Dear Dave yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, sorry. I got excited. You were talking about gay porn, and I got excited for a minute.
Well, that says more about you than me. All right. I'm gonna pull this up on the giant screen here so I can see it.
Word.
All right. Let me move some stuff. I have cords in the way, and I'm going to do my best here. All right.
That's all you can do.
I feel like we're getting I think we've had one similar to this in the past here. So this seems to be a problem. Okay. What's going on with people these days? All right, let me read this. So here's your subject line. My boyfriend slapped me out of anger for the first time yesterday. Can we move forward from this? It's a 24 female, 27 male. It's funny. It starts out, I'm going to make this brief, or I'm going to try to keep this brief. But it's like big, huge, long email.
15,384 words.
It's not quite that long, but it's pretty long. You'll see.
Okay.
I'll let you know when we're about halfway, and you're
Okay.
gonna be like, "Oh my god!" All right, gonna try and keep this brief. Me and my boyfriend both work night shift, but he goes in slash gets off earlier than I do. So when I woke up yesterday to start my day, he was already up. He heard my alarm go off, and I guess he noticed that I didn't get up straight away. I just wanted to lay for a minute. He came in and said, "Are you going to get up in time to cook, or do I need to make food for myself?" I asked him to please give me a minute. He left. A few minutes later, I got up and went to the bathroom to wash my face, etc. I heard his phone playing YouTube videos in the kitchen, but the bathroom door slowly started opening. Fresh out of sleep, I was startled, so I just stared wide eyed as he came in. I didn't mean anything by it, truthfully. He then started going off on me because I should always give him great energy and be excited to see him. He was cussing me out, saying he didn't like me having an attitude, and then stormed out. When I came out, he was making himself food. I asked him why he was doing that because he knew I was planning to cook. He went off again about my nasty attitude. We're about halfway. I then became frustrated and started talking over him because he was going on for several minutes. He slapped me across the face and told me I should never talk over my man and need to learn to shut up and listen. Mind you, we've been together for 3 years, lived together for 2. We've had physical altercations before, but not out of the blue like that. In the past, it was just mutual pushing, but that was at the very beginning of our relationship, and we vowed not to do it again. This obviously ensued a crazy fight, and at the end, I was standing my ground on being done with him, and he drove off. He then drove back and basically forced me to talk it out, locking us in the room together and trying to be playful. He tried to spin the situation and said he only did it because he was so frustrated that I wouldn't listen and my attitude, etc. I told him that's manipulation and truly no excuse. He then said he needs to start protecting his energy and left. He said he would never do it again, but I don't know. Do you have any experience with stuff like this?
Okay. Experience tells me run. Okay. And I know
Yeah.
you don't like me saying that all the time, but this is what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking for this one, yeah. This is what's bothering me. Real quick, I'll just put this out: is that their relationship started with pushing and all that. Like that should. So I get it. You vowed to not do it again. Whatever. If you're starting off a relationship like that, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
But anyways, okay, go ahead.
So yeah, I was gonna talk about that. So yeah, he promised never to push her again. Sure. So he's not pushing her, now he's slapping her. So he's escalated to slapping. Now he's promised he's not gonna slap her. So what's the next thing? A punch, a kick, a
Mhm.
stab, a shotgun? Like when do we it's gonna keep escalating, it's gonna keep getting worse. So I would suggest not only that, but who the fuck demands you will see me in better great energy and you will only give me great energy. Energy me, me, me. Fuck
Mhm.
off, eat a giant dick. It doesn't work that way, you know. So can she make things work? Sure. Does she? Should she? Probably not. In
Right.
order for things to be good in their relationship, he needs counseling. She needs counseling. They need couples counseling. He needs anger management. And they also need to learn to communicate. You know. So there's a lot to it. The easiest thing, best thing for her safety is yes, I would run for the hills. It's only been 3 years. And the fact that, like you had pointed out, it started off with a violent, not violent, but physical
Yeah.
altercation. And, you know, you can only get punched in the eye so many times until you say, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. You know,
Right.
you're a child touching the hot stove after mom told you not to. You still go and continue to touch that stove. Stop touching the fucking stove. You
Right.
know, so best of luck to you. I mean, if you want to try and make it work, that's the only way it's going to work. Is if you both get counseling, individual counseling. He does couples counseling, but it's a lot of work. So if you don't put it all in the effort, both of you, it's not going to work. It's only going to get worse, and you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, I find this situation to be very disturbing. Um, More so on his part than her part, but um, I'm trying to find the other part that like had me like, where was it? Um, the forcing to talk it out, locking them in the room
Yeah.
together, and trying to be playful. I'm confused by the trying to be like he's like, all right, I'm locking us in this room, and obviously, as the female who's just been slapped, yada yada yada, you're probably like, well, I don't want to like, you know, try and get out of this room because there's fear there. Like, well, what's he
Yeah.
going to do if I try to get out of this room? Because, well, let's be honest, if we're locking ourselves in a room and then what, he stands in front of the door and blocks it and makes sure that you don't like at this point now I think you've crossed the line in terms of law.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
not saying that the slap wasn't crossing the line in terms of the law too, but like, you know, now you've like
Also
essentially
for false imprisonment.
or just imprisonment. I mean,
Yeah. It's
it's
something like that. It's
or
not false, but
kidnap or something like you've yeah, you've basically prevented somebody of their freedom. You know what I mean? Um, where was it? Maybe it was earlier in the thing. It's kind of weird. The always give him great energy and be excited to see him.
yeah.
Well, you're not a dog. Like,
Right. Right.
dogs are excited to see you when you get home.
Hmm.
Humans, I mean, yeah, you can be happy or whatever, but like, a dog doesn't have to go to a job every day. A dog doesn't have to like, nothing really
Still,
bothers a dog. Like, unless they get beaten all day, but they'd still be, you can't expect every human to just be super excited and give off great energy. Well, like, what if she's having a shitty day, dumb fuck? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, people are
He
allowed
wants,
to,
he wants one of those blow up dolls that we got for Bud.
yeah.
You know, the robots, the sex toy robot, where he
This
comes home,
guy,
he's happy with energy.
yeah. This guy sounds like he's a kind of a controller.
He's a narcissist for sure.
Yeah. It's I can't find like I'm trying to skim over. I can't find the other part that like had me like as I was reading it like what the fuck like I wanted to talk about, but I can't find it. Um, but anyways, at least she stood her ground. But once he left, she shouldn't have allowed him back in.
Yeah.
Um, like the whole forced her to talk it out. I mean, it's one of these things where he left. If he came back, you should have left.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just need time away to think. And sometimes sitting there and talking it out, like maybe, but I don't know. Not usually when like a slap has happened and shit like that. I don't know. I think the whole relationship probably just needs. I'm gonna go your route, and this isn't going to get better. I don't think. I don't know how it could. You might want to go to counseling, but
Like I said, without all of those hoops to jump through, it's not going to be good.
hmm. So I think, yeah, this time I'm on your side. Run for the hills.
Yeah. And make sure the hills don't have eyes.
Yeah. I guess the other thing I'm kind of weirded out about is she heard the phone playing YouTube in the kitchen, but then the bathroom door slowly started opening. Now, this is while she's in the shower.
Right.
So she's somewhat startled, thinking, well, why is he's in the kitchen with his YouTube? Who the fuck's opening the door? So she's staring wide eyed.
Hmm.
when he came in. Okay, well, like there, that's got a vibe of creepiness to it. You know what I mean? Like a I don't know. Obviously, nothing happened there, but like was she supposed to be like, "Ooh, come get in the shower with
Hey,
me and let
you're
me just,
here. Yeah,
you know, go to town on you?" Like, yeah, that we would all love that as men, but like, it's not realistic,
right.
all the time, or even probably most of the time. Like, especially if you're just getting ready to go to work, you're typically not like, "I want to start my day giving you a blowjob,"
Right,
like,
right.
or whatever. Like, and then I don't know. It feels creepy to me. This guy feels like a piece of shit. The whole thing feels icky.
Yeah, he's definitely a piece of shit.
So, anyways,
Moving right along.
well, how are we looking on time? I don't even know what time we started.
I don't either. It's 20 after
All
Niner.
right. Well, let's jump into what you're watching real quick, and then
Right.
um, so we both went and saw, not together, but a movie in the theaters.
Yep.
How many other things have you?
Two other things.
Two other things. I think I have one other thing. So I guess you start. Then we'll talk about the thing we both saw, and then
Finish with the other one. All right,
I'll
so
go, and then you can end.
I'll go with a TV series first.
Okay.
Uh, I started watching Hollywood Demons.
Okay. Never even heard of that.
That's on Max. Um, and it's basically the first episode was about I think it's Stephen Collins, the dad from Seventh Heaven.
Okay.
Apparently, like in the 80s or 90s, he exposed himself to a 10-year-old child. And then
In real life?
in real life, yes,
Yeah.
yes, in
I
real
think I
life.
had heard that. Yes.
And then it was three children, and he did it to the second person. The third child, also between 10 and 11, maybe 12 at that time. I don't remember. No, she was 10. He took her hand and put it on his penis, and then moved it in a way to where it completed. Okay.
Okay.
Um, this happened, like I said, in the 80s or 90s. Around 2014, him and his wife were doing marriage counseling, and she recorded a session, audio recording, and then leaked that to the press, where he talks about doing these things. Because of the statute of limitations, he never got arrested for any of those things. But he did end his career, obviously. And this was before Me Too and Harvey Weinstein and all that other shit. So that was the first episode. That was pretty interesting. Because it really kind of went into like his history. Like he always played bad guys, and then all of a sudden he was the Seventh Heaven preacher slash dad, and he was like America's dad. Everyone loved him. He was awesome. But in real life, he was doing all these nasty, fucked up things, you know? Um, so that was interesting. The second episode that I'm on right now is childhood actors and basically like childhood actors gone bad. And it talks about them, like the kid from Family Ties, not Michael J. Fox, another one. The oldest one from Home Improvement, a couple of them from the D.L. Hewley show. So that's that. And then there's one about the housewives. I think your wife would like that one. I haven't got to that far yet, but it's interesting. It's all documentary shit, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
That's one
It,
thing.
so it's like a side note to the first episode.
Yeah.
Just the other day, saw it was a video. So it's the video, but it's more or less for the audio piece of it. That they just put some random bullshit video behind it. But the audio was recorded and leaked from the Woody Allen Mia Farrow. I don't know if it was like a counseling session or whatever that they had, but where basically she's telling Woody, like, I basically because he was fucking the. I don't know that much about Woody Allen and his family, but yeah, obviously they adopted the Asian chick
Yeah,
when she was a kid or whatever. Now he's with her, so obviously he left Mia Farrow or got divorced and got with the daughter that he adopted. But
you did.
there
Yeah,
was there's mentioning Mia Farrow's mentioning I think they might have had a daughter together, and but I'm not positive on that, so I won't say that for sure.
yeah.
But there's another girl. I don't know if it was another one that they adopted before the Asian chick or what, but there's another girl, and Mia's like, she's scared of you. She, told me all the things you did to her and all this stuff. Like, so this dude's like
Serial
he's
pedo.
obviously a pedophile, but a almost maybe if it's their own daughter, an incestual pedophile on top of it.
Yeah, yeah. But it's their legit.
And and yet Woody Allen's still making movies to this day, like unarrested, like
Yeah, not
just
even
free.
caught.
And it's like, how? What? Because you're Jewish, so you get away with like, you
Yeah,
know.
but so was Weinstein.
So then, How has Woody Allen been able to just not like?
Just because of
Was Weinstein really Jewish, or did he just have the name?
I thought he was too, but maybe it's just the name.
Either way,
I
how is
mean,
Woody Allen unable to?
because if you look at his, I mean, now that makes sense. Looking at a lot of his films, he's got this weird perversion, sex in a lot of his films that maybe they just think it's acceptable because it's just Woody Allen.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
it's like. Well, look at Meryl Streep and her praise of Roman Polanski. Yet he is ass fucking an underage woman, underage girl,
Mhm.
and that's why he's flooding the country and won't ever come back because he knows as soon as he comes back he's going to jail. Like, and they're like, oh, he's the greatest director. Yeah, yeah. It's like you might be really talented at directing movies or whatever it is you do for a career, but simply the fact that you did that, you're a piece of shit. And
Yeah, he went
you know
for
what
the
I mean? Like, so it's weird. Like that whole thing, dude. It really makes you like not. For me at least, it makes me not trust anybody that's a fucking famous actor or music artist or whatever. It makes me question should I like them because the second I say, oh, I like this person, something's going to come out about them. You know what I mean? Like I used to like Tom Hanks. I don't feel like I can. I feel like you can't even like and then why are we like idolizing these people? They're they've been put on this pedestal, but yet they're all doing weird shit behind closed doors.
man.
And it just, I don't know. Not saying everybody is that way, but it sure makes you wonder, like,
There's a
how
lot.
did you get put on that pedestal if you didn't do something? Because you have to, in order to be escalated, you have to be controlled. And in order to be controlled, they have to have something on you. Well, in order to have something on you, they have to put you in a situation where they can have something on you. And there you go. I mean, to me, it's an easy walk to see how this could happen. So then
Right.
the assumption has to be, well, if we know who you are and you're uber fucking famous and you maintain that uber fame for 20, 30, 40 years, you probably did something. You just don't be famous to be famous.
Right.
And because look how many people have become famous and then you've never heard from them again.
Right. The one hit wonders.
Probably because they didn't want
They
to
didn't play the game.
fuck a kid or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is weird. It makes it where I feel like I can't be a fan of anybody because I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh yeah, I'm a huge fan. Oh wait, he he did these horrible things. You know what I mean? Like, not that I don't want to be, or that I can't be wrong, but I don't want to support like even if they aren't like I'll sit there and say I like certain actors and in their movies, but I guess the whole idolization of them is gone. When I was younger, I was like, it's all I wanted. Just I want to like make movies and I want to be in Hollywood and I want to do all this shit. And that's like the farthest thing from what I want to do. I want to make movies, but I don't want to be involved with any of them. You know what I mean? Like it has a creepy vibe around it now.
It does, and it makes sense that as a kid we want to because that's their demographic, and it's kind of like almost indoctrinated into us as a kid. So they have more kids wanting to get into it, so they can fuck more kids.
Or what? Yeah, I mean
You know,
it's weird. It's a weird thing, dude.
it is. It is.
All right, so let's talk about the movie we both saw
Yeah,
in theaters. So wait, I guess here's the first thing.
yeah.
Did you see like was it any special version of the movie or
Just
just
the
the movie?
just XQ.
Okay, I saw it in 3D.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it would be that type of movie being, it's based on a video game, that it might be pretty good in 3D. You know what I mean? Plus, my kid had never been to a 3D movie, so I thought, well, he's the one that wanted to see it. Obviously, I have zero interest in seeing this movie, so I took him, and I was like, we're gonna go to this 3D one, and he was in awe because of how the 3D works. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like for him, I think it was a really cool experience, and um, as a kid, I'm as he seemed to enjoy it. To me, it was it, okay. First, let's say what it is we're talking about. We're talking about the Minecraft movie, right?
Yep.
With Jack Black. To me, it's the typical Jack Black, the overacting Jack Black, the whatever. I could give or take. Jason Momoa could care less. I don't know. It seemed like one of those typical. They got the token black lady, which got a zoo in her car, and it's they checked off the boxes they needed to check off, and it's fun for kids that like to play Minecraft. Beyond that, it's not anything,
I
to
thought
to like
I thought
write
it was
home about.
a giant piece of shit. I was fucking bored.
You were bored.
I was bored watching that film. It was basically like all of the new versions of Jumanji and the Adam Sandler movie Pixels. Like they had a kid after they got really drunk and raped each other. That's what
Oh,
that film was.
okay.
I mean, I've never shit on a movie so much except for Crouching Dicks, Hidden Tigers. Other than that, I've never really shit on a movie as much. This movie, like, I seriously sat there like this during some of the movie. Like, it was bad. Like, it was so bad. I went into it going, all right, this is gonna be a giant piece of shit, hoping that I'll be like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. And I walked out saying it was actually way worse than I thought. Like, it was bad. It had zero, like, really good storytelling. Momoa's acting was terrible. The gay innuendo part was just way overdone. And the fact that they brought it back later, talking about, oh, I keep gorgonzola cheese in my front pocket. Like, okay, so now you're telling me that Jason Momoa's mouth was in your pocket, which means you're closely sucking his dick, or does your dick have gorgonzola on it? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Spoiler alert, by the way, with that part. But yeah, it was just dog shit. And it really bothered me that your token black chick, she was in Orange is the New Black. Her name was Tasty. They called her T. It bothered me that she had basically like an orange jumpsuit with other colors on it. Like that's what she. So she was just tasty to me. She was the bitch from Orange Is the New Black. Didn't make sense that she was in that film or whatever. Um, the
It
sister,
really did. She didn't need to be in that movie
she
at
didn't.
all.
She didn't need to be the
But
sister.
that's why I said they had to check the box.
Right. The sister and brother were way too close in age for her to be like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
10. We're the family now. Yay! You're fucking 17. Like, eat a dick. That's not gonna happen in any
Yeah.
world. That will never happen." The whole him blowing up the fucking school rocket thing that didn't need to happen. Like none of that shit needed to happen. You know what I mean? There was just a lot
Although,
of good fluff.
can we admit that Jennifer Coolidge falling in love with the villager was kind of funny?
That was the best part of the movie, to be honest. Jennifer Coolidge, especially at the end, was fucking hilarious.
Where the villager starts talking.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Spoiler, but like
yeah.
I like the villagers. Just the noises they
Yeah,
make and their
yeah,
nose that comes down in front of their face, like,
yeah,
and then she's like, it's just so stupid.
yeah,
It's a kids movie that, like, if you saw it as a kid, you'd probably be like, "Ah, this is great." And then you go back 20 years later and you're like, remember how great that when you watch it and you're like, what a fucking pile of shit this was.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I feel like that's going to be for a lot of kids that are seeing it right now.
yeah. It's gonna
I'm
be
just
like when we were kids, at least when I was a kid, Fraggle Rock was my jam. I fucking loved it. It was the best show as a kid. Like, this is awesome. And then when, DVDs came out and they started doing seasons, I bought the fucking Fraggle Rock entire series. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my childhood. I'm gonna watch this. I put the first episode on. I'm like, I can't watch this. This
yeah,
is
it's terrible.
And then I went to Quantum Leap, the old school Scott Bakula one. I was like, I used to watch that too. And I'm like, why the fuck did I like this? This is dog shit.
Yeah,
That's what this fucking movie's gonna be like.
yeah.
Jason, I hated Jason Momoa's character. Like that was the stupidest decision to make him this 80s fucking burnout faggot. Because it was bad. Super bad.
Yeah.
And I don't like to use that word very often, but I hated that fucking film. Like I've never wanted to walk out of a theater during a film more than I did Saturday.
Oh wow.
And
I have.
I did
But,
because I had four other people with me, so I couldn't.
yeah, man.
Yeah, it was bad. And to make it even worse, like the way I had seats 1 through 5. Okay. I sat in 1, Joy sat in 5. So I couldn't even like turn to her and bitch about how bad this movie was.
Yeah,
I, I had her grandkid next to me and I couldn't really bitch to him about it because he was into it.
yeah.
Um, so
It's definitely wasn't aimed for us, I don't think. Although there were those jokes that seemed like it was more adult themed jokes. So there was that, but it just not. I don't know. Seeing it in 3D, I think maybe helped because it
I
added some depth to
I
like the
don't love
graphics piece of things.
3D.
But like overall, it was just not great. Like,
No, it was dumb. The whole fucking thing, the whole story, the whole plot, everything was dumb. Everything was dumb. It made no sense that the wolf could go into like the our realm and be fine. Like that
yeah,
didn't make any sense. Like no, I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, she's got a petting zoo, and but they're not going to ask where the fuck it's from. They're not going to think it's an alien and fucking like do experiments on it and shit. Like, come on, you know what I mean?
well, Jennifer Coolidge didn't find the fact that the guy's nose comes
Yeah,
down in front of his face and goes,
you got a big
"Oh, you're such a
head.
good listener. You're such a good listener." All
Yeah,
it's like it's the whole thing is it's very much targeted to kids
yeah, and it was just
that
really
are
just poor
into it.
writing. It was very bad
Yeah.
writing, bad
Well, and then
acting.
you got
The whole
just and
Jermaine
Jack Black
Clement,
overacts too.
yeah, and
Like
then the little Jermaine Clement thing was kind of dumb, overacted as well.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
the guy you're talking about the guy named Clementi.
No, no, Jermaine Clement is his real name. That's the guy from Flight of the Conchords. He was the auctioneer. for the storage shed.
Oh yeah, okay.
Also,
Yeah, I
the
don't
bad
know.
guy.
I didn't know who the fuck that is because I don't really
Yeah,
care about Flight of the Conchords.
yeah, but he's in so much shit now. He was in Men in Black and all
Dude,
kinds.
I don't watch a lot of stuff
Yeah,
though.
I know you're
I
stupid.
wouldn't know him by his name though. It's either
Yeah,
way, but I thought you were talking about the character named Clementi.
no, the fucking teacher dude. No, that part was it was so dumb. Like it just everything about that movie was just stupid. The
Yeah,
best part about the movie was that it ends and you can go home.
yeah.
It will never show up in my Fandango. Like I don't even give a shit if they pay me to watch it again. I'm not gonna do it.
Not even if it's like it's for a quarter.
No, no,
What if the grandkids want to see it?
don't give a fuck. Go buy it on DVD and watch it yourself. Fuck you. I'm not watching it. I'm
Wow.
not wasting any more money on that piece of shit movie.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Tell me how you really feel.
I am. I'm not holding anything back. That movie
I
was
can tell.
like I got to the point when I got home last night, like I was doing homework and stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm so distraught with this movie. I want to fucking tweet Jack Black and tell him what a piece of shit that movie was. And then I'm like,
Well, no,
I got
he
better
would
things.
just be another person in line.
Yeah, I know. That's what I figured. You know.
I
Um,
wonder how much it made at the box office. Probably more than Snow White.
oh, that's a whole other piece of shit I will never see either.
So that I'll be honest with you, there's a slight bit of curiosity that I want to see it, but I don't want to spend money to see it. But like, I kind of want to see it because, well, the whole controversy with like the girl and the shit that she said and all this, and that's getting like a 1.7 on IMDb out
Yeah.
of 10, which is so I think that's literally like the worst rated movie on IMDb.
Yeah.
And then it's just lost like a shit ton of money, or they didn't make near what they were expecting to. But a lot of that's being based on the fact
Well,
that it was her and what she had said and tweeted and how she
right.
acted, and the guy's a stalker and all this shit. And it's like, you're way off base. And I get you can have your opinion, just like we're sitting here with our opinions, but like at the same time, you're supposed to be trying to like sell this movie and not divide your fucking audience before they're going to come and spend their money. If she would have just shut the fuck up and not tweeted, tons of people would have went and saw that movie
Well,
and they would have made their money.
the problem is going back to that. So yeah, so she talked shit about Trump, right? And their supporters. She talked shit about the original film.
Yeah.
Um,
And then she did the whole free Palestine bullshit.
yep. And then she did
And
that.
her co-star is Jewish.
Yes.
Like,
Well, and then the other issue, so there's all of that. The fact that she's not white. And the reason why her name was Snow White is because she was so fucking white. In the fucking cartoon, the original, it says, the mirror says, skin as pale as snow or whatever the fuck he said.
mhm.
She not white. She doesn't have that. It's not going to happen. You can't. So that whole line has gone. So I get remakes. We got to tweak things here and there, but that's too
Yeah.
much.
Well, it's right on the and not that I'm saying Disney can do whatever the fuck they want, but they're just actively ruining all their remakes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Little Mermaid was not black. And I'm
Right.
not
Right.
saying there's anything wrong with using a black actress for that, but if you're remaking it, we don't have to insert people of color to appeal to a certain audience because I like to think to me you're doing it basically saying like you people of color are beneath us, so we're giving you this like it's almost like it should be taken almost as a slap on the face as opposed to we're gonna make we're going to use a white chick and give her red hair because that's what the original drawing of the movie was, and that's what it's going to be. And we're going to stay true to what it was. Not that black girl didn't do a great job at that as that character, but that's not what it was. And why are we tweaking these things? It's stupid. And I know, two white guys sitting there talking about this shit. If you put to me, it'd even be kind of like doing the same thing with like a James Bond. Like, oh, we're going to switch them to a black female all of a sudden. Well,
Yeah.
that character was not ever supposed to
Well,
be. You
I'm
know
gonna
what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna write a short about Martin Luther King, and
to use a white guy.
I'm going to play Martin Luther King.
Yeah. No, that would be wildly offensive to people,
Why?
right?
Why?
Well, that's
It's
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
fucking
Like,
thing. Oh well,
yeah.
she's a fictional character. That's what it shouldn't matter because they're fictional characters. Okay, fine. Fuck off. Like I don't care if it's
Well, what
fiction.
about you could do that with all those things. Like, I don't know why they casted this girl to begin with, and then the other thing is, like, I know there's lots of people in Hollywood that have their opinions on politics, but
Mhm.
when you're trying to sell a movie, you don't typically go posting a bunch of shit that's going to potentially be controversial to literally probably 70% of the base that has money and will spend it on your movie. You
Right.
literally said, hey, 70% of the fucking people that are going to spend money on this thing, we don't want your
I
money
don't want
because
your money. Yeah,
I
exactly.
want to have my opinion on Facebook or Twitter.
Look at Selena Gomez. Her whole thing. She was, when Trump got elected. Oh, everyone's getting deported. Oh my God! And she did her whole crying thing. Within hours, all of her. I'm assuming they didn't say this, but I'm assuming all of her agents and contacts and publicists said, "Delete that shit. Apologize. You're ruining your fucking career." And with hours, she fucking took it down and apologized and fucking never said anything again.
Yeah.
So why the fuck didn't her people do that? Or maybe they did tell her and she's like, fuck you, I know what I'm doing. Because what is she, like 20 something? She's a young bitch, right?
She's young and I totally get the argument of, well, I'm allowed to have free speech.
Free speech, yeah.
You are allowed to have free speech, but you also have to know that now you will never be cast in anything ever again. Or
No.
it'll be a while that a studio is going to get behind you like that and give you a major role, because this point now you're being categorized as somebody that, well, they don't know if they can trust you to not go on social media and put something that might be controversial. Who gives a shit if you don't like Donald Trump? You want his goddamn supporters that have the fucking jobs and all the money to not know that you hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So shut the
Because,
fuck up on social media. If our job relied on, you know, okay, we make a bunch of fucking movies and then we go out there and we just so I guess there's the big difference is we can shit on a political party when those supporters by and large are on government money. They're not going to go to the movie in the first place. But when you have an entire side that all have jobs, and they have pretty good jobs, getting paid pretty well, I would say, in general, and they're the ones that are going to spend the money, and you basically say, hey, you're all pieces of shit. I don't want your money. Kind of like what Pink said to anybody that listens to her music. She doesn't want anybody that's a Trump supporter listening to her music. Well, guess who stopped listening to her music? Me. And probably everybody else that
I
disagrees with her, you know?
I preemptively struck and I just never listened to her music. So,
Right. Well, I'm saying it was like, if it's on the radio, well, I'm turning it off now. You know what I mean? Like, or I'll change the station. Like, you don't want me because of how I might vote to listen to your music? Fine, I won't. And I won't support you. I'm not going to spend money on an album. I'm not going to go to your concert. I'm not going to, in any way, shape, or form. Oh, you did the soundtrack to a movie? I guess what? I won't see that movie then. You don't, and that's the thing. I feel like these people, they have their fucking opinions. They get on these like little kicks, and then they realize like you're doing it wrong. You're fucking your own self here. You're fucking your ability to make money. But I think a lot of this is people in Hollywood and all that, they are in a bubble, and they don't realize that because they're surrounded by like-mindedness all the time and people that they surround themselves with, they're in this bubble, and they don't realize that the people that are going to spend the money, that are going to make you more famous, more in demand, like her career is going to be based on getting cast in something else, right? At
Right.
this point, if you were a studio, would you cast her in anything?
No.
Because you're seeing like, okay, she's the main star of a film that it's probably not that bad if you actually watched it, at least in terms of kids. And let's be honest, if you make a movie geared towards kids, you will make a shit ton of money because parents will spend money to take their kids to this shit. And not only are you buying the tickets, you're buying the popcorn, the pop, the candy, everything. You know, it's the whole package, right? And then if it's really good, like a Snow White, you buy the merch. You buy the Barbie dolls. You buy the dwarves. You buy all this shit, right? So there's a whole marketing merchandise thing that goes along with this too. It's a money cash cow, right? It's what they call cash cows.
Yeah, should be.
It has the potential to be. Now, your main star goes out there and says, I hate this guy. And 70% of Americans that have jobs and spend money on this kind of shit for their kids like this guy that you hate. And you've just now told the world that you hate this guy and whatever. Well, all those people are going to say, well, I guess we don't need to see your movie. And that's what happens.
Oh yeah.
And as a studio, and I think I think it was the director's son or somebody that's like fucking went and did a giant post, and he's basically they're on the same side politically, but even the guy's son or whatever went out and like tore into this chick about the fuck are you doing? You're literally ruining this for not just you, but everybody else that was part of making this movie. Her doing one thing and basically essentially putting this movie into a fail zone. It will fail now because of your simple tweet has now basically affected everybody that worked on that movie. So it's not just you, it's everybody. All 8,000 people that worked on this film have now been categorized and put in a worst movie of all time category simply because you tweeted out that you hated Donald Trump, that you wanted to free Palestine, and the main guy in the movie is a stalker, and you're Hispanic playing a really white chick. Like, it was wrong on all parts. I mean, I think there's more than just her at fault here, but like, you know, they probably should have casted somebody who had really pale skin. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like
Well,
like you
not
said,
that,
the
but
character's called Snow White.
right. Look at like Gal Gadot. Like a lot of people think she's super fucking hot, right? The queen is supposed to be fucking decrepit, ugly, disgusting looking. So you have, in essence, a better looking queen than you do Snow White. That negates the whole point of her wanting to kill her because she's so pretty. She's
Yeah,
prettier than fucking Snow White. So that makes no sense. You know what I mean? So
right.
that's stupid. And the trailer has Gal Gadot saying one line, and it's like she doesn't. I don't like her acting, to be honest with you.
Gal
And
Gadot.
yeah, and I don't. I'm definitely not gonna like it. It's like a high school musical to watch her fucking act, especially in the trailer. She looks terrible. She doesn't look like she's delivering her line. It's poorly read the way that she
Yeah,
gives her line. You know, they're
but
just
maybe she was checked out, knowing that her co-star basically is supporting the people that want her entire race to die.
well, it could be, but think about it. How long ago
I
did
don't
they
know.
film it?
I have
How
no
long ago
idea.
did they film the movie? You know what I mean?
Well, but how long ago has this been going on? The Palestinian-Israeli war or battle has been
Yeah,
going on
forever.
for
But the
fucking
whole
ever.
free Palestine thing really was in the last like year.
That's when we heard about it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And that's when
Who
people
knows if here's the thing: we weren't on set. Maybe this dumb bitch playing Snow White is one of these that just you because you can tell these people that they're activists, right? That
yeah,
like maybe she shows up to set before she gets in costume with a fucking Free Palestine shirt. Maybe she goes on rants to people at the lunch table when they take break about how bad Israel is, and you literally have a fucking Jewish co-star sitting right there. You know what I mean? Like, who knows, dude? It might not just have been from the tweet. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like this chick is toxic in terms of whatever. I don't know. I'll be curious to see, like, because here's the other thing is that they always say bad press is good press, but it doesn't seem to be in terms of garnering money for them. But
Yeah.
I could see there could be a studio out there that says, let's cash in on her controversy. Maybe we want something controversial. Maybe you cast her as like an evil character in a different movie with a different studio and it works. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But either way, like, so that, I guess, going back to what I was originally saying, like, my curiosity is piqued. I kind of want to see Snow White just to see if it is as shitty or whatever. But at the same time, I don't. I want to do it, but I don't want to give them money. You know what I mean?
Wait till it
So,
comes on Disney Plus because it won't be in the theaters long.
no. Yeah, that's right. It'll be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll wait and see it then.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go to the
So
next one.
then, you got one more and I got one more, right?
Oh, you got one more? I didn't think you had another one.
Yeah, I said I had two.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
my
mean,
next
we,
one.
we, we kind of talked about Snow White, which neither one of us saw, but we're just giving opinions on it.
Yeah. So the next one I saw is called An Unbreakable Boy.
Unbreakable Boy. Never heard of that either.
Yeah. So that one is a true story. It's got Zach Levi in it, and I fucking love him. It's about a, that's the guy who played Shazam, Chuck. If you saw him, whatever, eat a dick.
I never saw Shazam either.
Yeah, I know. He was in the one about the football player, the fucking Palmer. No, what the fuck was his name? Yeah, Kurt Palmer, Kurt Warner.
Oh, he played Kurt Warner in that movie. I know
Yeah,
what movie you're talking
yeah,
about.
I can't think of the name of it now. Yeah, he played him.
Okay.
Anyways, so this movie here is about a family who has a child who is autistic. So he's like super on the spectrum, and he not only did he have autism, he had OCI, which I don't remember the exact terminology of it, but basically has brittle bones. So his bones break very easily. So hence the unbreakable boy. But it's a really heartfelt, good story, and the kid reminded me of like three of the clients that I have that are young about his age and that have autism because they
Hmm.
sound and talk and do the same thing. So I did it more for research and because I like Zach Levi. But it's a really good, heartwarming heart. And I like when they do like real stories and at the end they show pictures of the real people and stuff. I like when
Hmm.
they do that. So that's a good movie too. It's funny too. It has some funny stuff in it.
Yeah. So you recommend that one?
I do recommend that one. Yeah, it's a good
Now,
family.
does he talk at all like that? I forget the name of that show that's on with the autistic doctor. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
The
about?
Good Doctor.
Yeah. Does now you deal with autistic kids and whatnot? Is the way that that guy talks on that Good Doctor show, is that how they talk?
So the problem is that's why they call it a spectrum. There's various.
Yeah, and I get it, but do you have anybody that talks like that? Is that like a thing,
No,
or is
I do have one that talks very similar.
okay? So it is
Not
kind of a
quite.
thing.
Yeah, not quite to his level, but very similar. Actually, I'll see her today. Um, but yeah, and then I've got another one that is 21, heavily but fully functioning autistic, talks like he's a 12-year-old. You know,
Hmm.
not really baby talk, but just words and mannerisms. It's like he's 12.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess like we've had the Good Doctor on at different times, and I don't know. I feel like the way I perceive it is that he's making fun in a fucked up way of autism and autistic people. But maybe it's just because of how to me it's like he's I don't know. It feels how he talks feels very fake. Like Like if you were to say, all right, you need to play a person with Down syndrome and as your character. So you would do a version of it, but it's going to be kind of like, let's be honest, you're making fun of that person or those people, right? Whatever. It's that's what it feels like with him. It's like, oh, I'm playing somebody that's autistic. So how would I do it if I wanted to make fun of them? Right? That's how it
Yeah,
feels when I
I
watch that show.
I think it's because he's not a very good actor.
It could be. I don't know.
Um, he's not a very good actor, and he has a very heavy, thick English accent when he talks in real life. So,
Oh,
so
I
he's
see.
also trying to mask
He's trying to
that.
hide the fact that he's British
Correct.
while playing an American autist. Okay, so maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm just saying. Though, like when I watch that show, I'm annoyed by it because I feel like he's not doing a very good job of.
He's doing
I
better
don't.
than you think.
Okay, all right, and that's maybe because I'm not around autistic people and
Mhm.
talking to them that you know. I guess I wouldn't know. I just give an opinion here, you know. So, anyways,
What else you watch?
what's that? What's the other thing I watched?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started watching. It's called The Agency. It's on Paramount or Show. I think it's on Showtime, but
Okay.
it's through Paramount. It's called The Agency, and it's that whole like CIA spy thing.
Yeah.
Um, it's I've only gotten 2 episodes in, and it's pretty good. It's not like some of these shows they kind of go overboard with like the stuff that they do. The the technology and James Bond kind of goes overboard with some of the shit. It's like that might actually exist, but it's kind of hokey in a way.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel hokey. Um, it's kind of it's pretty interesting. But so far it's only been one season. I think they're like 10 episodes or something like that. I'm 2 in, so I got a lot to go, but um it's one that I'm watching. It's pretty interesting. I started that cuz we never got around to starting Yellowstone. I
Okay.
don't know why what happened there. It was her suggestion and then it kind of never went anywhere. So,
Just out. Yeah.
and I even made that comment the other night. I was like, thought we were going to start watching Yellowstone. This is while like Family Guy's on or something like that, which I didn't put on. Yeah, she put this shit on. So I don't know if she's just she's not ready for it or
Taking a break first
forgot.
before she starts.
Maybe. So, anyways, I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna start watching this. I saw it advertised. I don't remember where, but it was advertised, maybe like on a YouTube video or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna check that out. So I logged into Paramount and started watching it.
Okay.
So it's pretty good. If you're
I've seen
into
it on
that
there.
kind of thing,
Yeah, I've
you
seen
need
it
to,
on there.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you're not into that kind of thing, the kind of a suspenseful type, it's got Michael Fassbender. Um, I wish I had IMDb. I can't pull it up because I don't have an internet. But um, Jeffrey Wright, I think, is the other guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would even know who those people are. I've seen them in other things. I know the names, but Richard Gere's in it.
Oh, I know
Um,
him.
I haven't seen him in a movie in forever, so it was surprising to see him in the show
I
up as a
I didn't know
character.
he was still doing acting.
Yeah,
I thought he was
me
just
either.
fucking Turtles.
So that's the rumor.
Yeah.
I did hear that they're doing and it could have just been a joke because we did just have April Fool's Day, but I thought I saw something that they were making a Pretty Woman too.
Really?
Him and Julia Roberts. So that's a possibility. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't look bad. I mean, he just looks old, but he doesn't look bad. Like,
He is. What is he now?
anyways,
510?
no, he's not that old. He's probably in his 70s. early 70s, late 60s, something like that.
Maybe.
Mid 70s, maybe.
Let me see. Let me pull him up. Richard Gere. He is born in 49.
So that would make him late 60s, right?
No, 70, 80s. No, 70s. 76.
Oh, there you go.
Ah, old motherfucker.
He don't look 76, I guess. I mean, he looks old. He's got white hair, but like he doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's that old, I guess. So,
I don't I don't see a Pretty Woman 2 on IMDb.
no, maybe it was just like you know how they talk about some of these movies that people want to see a
Yeah.
sequel of that are never going to be.
Well,
It
look
could
at
have been one of those.
Beetlejuice was they kept saying it was going to happen for like 30 fucking years.
Oh, it did happen though.
It finally, so in 30 years.
Maybe that's how you generate the um, the sequel. You just keep talking about it. Like, look up. Is there actually going to be a Goonies 2? Because I keep hearing that it's that they're filming it or they've filmed it or whatever. And like the thing is, like that was a great movie as a kid. I imagine if I watched it now, it's probably a piece of shit. Makes me nervous to go watch it again. But um, yeah, is there a Goonies 2?
Not on IMDb.
So that's the thing, man. Like I don't know. Anyways,
Will there be a Goonies 2?
I think it's one of those things where people talk about it and talk about it because they want it, but then it just never comes to fruition.
Yeah, on the Hollywood Reporter says nearly 40 years after the Goonies, a sequel to the 1980 film is in the works.
So so it's they're probably like writing it
Yeah,
pre-production. I'm surprised it's not on there as pre-production or anything though.
yeah, because they're so far away from it.
Hmm. Either way,
Yeah,
it's one
so
I'd be looking forward to.
yeah,
You
I'd go
know,
see that one for sure.
it's
'Cause
just I always get nervous because these movies that they do sequels to, like the Dumb and Dumber, 20 years later, the Super Troopers, 20 years later, it's like, oh, it's just not near as fucking good. And there's so much potential to make it good, but it's just not good.
yeah,
And I don't know, and I think part of it is we saw this shit when we were kids. And what was probably a shitty movie, we have this like nostalgic memory that like you know what I mean? And we go see this and we have an expectation, almost like not that because we know the actors are older now, but that we want it to be that nostalgic, take us back to our childhood, and it doesn't, but it's because we've changed. For 40 years, we became different than what we were as children. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they did too. And
Are they
and the
even
people
all still
writing it
alive?
didn't write it from the fucking 80s. It's new writers that
Mhm. No, it's the
are
same writer. Oh no, it is a new writer. I'm sorry, new writer.
I would assume the original writer's probably dead.
Yeah, well, they're gonna do Spielberg and Christopher Columbus. Those are the two that wrote or produced it last time. So, but is
Either one.
Goonies alive still?
I think well, think about it. I don't know about the chunk, the the truffle shuffle kid. I don't know if he's still alive. We know Sean Astin is. We know um
I think Sloth is dead.
well the guy that plays Sloth's probably dead. What the older brother, he's just been in one of them superhero movies, so I know he's still alive. I forget
Joe
his name.
Joe Pantoliano's still alive.
I don't even know if he would be in it though. He played a bad guy, didn't he?
Yeah, they were bad guys.
I
You're
don't.
talking
The
about Josh.
mom.
You're talking about Josh Groban or Josh Grody or whatever his name is. Josh Brolin, that's his name.
Yeah, Brolin. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. The mom's
I don't.
dead.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's some of. Corey
she got
Feldman's in it.
she got
So
thrown
like,
from a train.
yeah, by Danny DeVito. Spoiler.
Yeah. Who else? Carrie Green. What was her name? Carrie. The fuck was that one girl's name? The redhead.
I don't know, but I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her name. But like, you can look them up. I mean, I think most of them are still alive. But I think what it would be is obviously their kids. They
Yeah.
will all have kids that are gonna, you know, go find a treasure, or they'll all get together and go find another treasure or whatever. One-eyed Willie or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It was Carrie Green. I was right. Jeff Cohen is Chunk.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chunk.
Martha Plimpton is Stephanie.
Yeah,
Um,
I think they're all still alive.
yeah. John Matusak was Sloth. He died in '89.
Yeah, so he died not long after that movie. But I
Yeah.
mean, you could probably
Oh,
anybody
anyone.
could probably play that weird character. Hey, you guys.
Yeah. So who knows, man? Well, yeah. I mean, all the main ones are alive. I,
Yeah.
I don't think Martha Plimpton is dead. I don't know who she. No, she's still alive.
Well, it's kind of like the Ghostbusters. You know, they were all dead besides Venkman, or they're all alive besides Venkman. So
Right. Right.
they were able to do that and just explain it away as his daughter. You know, he could do the same thing like with the Goonies. The point is, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also nervous for it because you know you almost got to go into it thinking, man, this is going to be a piece of shit, and hopefully it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Some of these
but
haven't
I
acted in a
will
long
go see it.
time. Carrie Green hasn't been anything since 2012.
Jeez,
Yeah, so she's about due. So yeah, I don't know.
we shall see.
We shall. Cohen hasn't acted since '91. Chunk ain't done shit since '91.
Makes sense.
He was a one hit wonder.
So you got and Feldman too, Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I didn't look at him though, but he's still doing shit.
The thing is would they bring him in for a movie? You know, since he kind of they've blacklisted him because he's trying to expose pedophiles in
Yeah,
Hollywood. So the
yeah.
question is, would you bring him in? What was his name?
Oh,
Mouth or
Mouth.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah, his mouth. I don't think.
What about the Asian guy?
Oh,
Data.
yeah, Data's still alive.
I think Data's still acting too.
Yeah, I think he goes by a different name now. I think he goes by Jackie Chan.
Speaking of Jackie Chan, so
Don't even. Don't
in
even.
the previews to
Yeah.
Minecraft, they did the new Cobra Kai or Karate
Karate
Kid
Kid.
movie that's
Yeah.
coming up, and Jackie Chan's in it. I was like, at first they kind of hooked me. I was like, this might not be too bad, and then I was like, by the end of the preview, I was like, yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah.
And just no, it's not going to happen.
So yes, was in the movie Love Hurts.
Nice,
Uh, he was in
Crazy
six.
Rich Asians.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know.
No,
He was in Kung Fu
oh,
Panda 4, Encino Man back in the '90s. So no, he wasn't in Crazy Rich Asians. He
wow,
had he had a little bit of a break from 2002 to 2021. He didn't do shit. He
a
didn't do,
little bit of a break.
yeah.
20 years.
He didn't do shit for 20 years. And it looks like he's doing TV series, music videos, voice acting for PC games. And then he was in, Love Hurts. I think he was the
Nice.
guy. Isn't that the one you watched?
What?
Love Hurts. Fuck, that's him? Holy shit. That's not the one you watched. Um, the realtor pulled back into life he left behind after his former partner in crime resurfaces with an ominous message. That wasn't you that watched that one? No, it wasn't you.
Mm. Oh, with the
The Jackie Chan lookalike.
yeah, the one I just talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was you. I did thought it was you. That was Data.
Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense now that I am remembering that. Kind of forgot that I had seen that movie.
How do I remember things?
Um,
Yeah, what the fuck?
yeah, that movie was okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that guy. That movie right there.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. See, when you read the plot, I was like, it doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah,
Because I think what it is the name of the movie makes me think it's like some love drama shit, and it ends up being like a kung fu nonstop battle movie,
yeah,
and you just wouldn't think of it like that because of the names. The name throws me off.
yeah.
I think when you say we're saying Love Hurts, I was actually thinking the movie Love Actually,
Oh, okay.
and it was like throwing me off because I'm like, I dude did not see that movie.
Yeah, but I knew you. I thought that was you that just said you had just seen it. I knew. I mean, I only talked to like two people about movies, you and one other person. So had to have been
Yeah,
you. You know.
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
anyways, so that's Data, huh?
yeah, that's Data that was in that movie.
Well, he kicked some ass in that movie, but he
Yeah.
also got his ass kicked.
Did he
So
have his little belt? His little fucking belt in his backpack?
no, he didn't. So
Well, it's like
I am curious how they would do that. That character for Goonies too? Like, is his kid going to be a doorknob like he was? Like, he probably will have been an inventor of a bunch of shit, and his kid will follow in his footsteps. I'm just so curious how they're going to do it. I hope they don't shit the bed on it. You
they
know,
probably.
I'm sure they will. But anyways, I think we're about there, buddy. I
Yeah, I
think
think so.
we've probably gone over on this one. So,
Yeah, a little bit.
um, but good times.
Yeah.
All right, social medias.
Yes, sir.
Let me hammer these out real quick. You want to email us, guys who still high at number 5 at gmail.com. Head on over to Patreon and become a subscriber and see the bonus content that we're putting there. Patreon.com/guys who still high 5, all spelled out. Otherwise, you can go to YouTube and watch everything for free. You can watch it for free at Patreon too. It just comes out earlier there. Otherwise, YouTube a couple days later. You can listen to the podcast, watch the podcast, do all that at the little at symbol. Guys who still high 5, all spelled out. Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram, guys who still high number 5. TikTok, same thing, guys who still high 5, but it's spelled out. But follow us there. And then on X, we are at guys still high number 5. There is no who at X. And then obviously all the podcast platforms we should be on, besides Apple.
Yeah, everywhere else.
But everywhere else, you just go type in guys who still high 5, you'll find us. So go follow us on all of them and then all the social medias. If you just type it in, either spell out the 5 or put in the number 5, we should come up everywhere. So go do that.
Do it.
All right. So until next time,
Yes, sir.
right on.
Left out.